All right, so welcome to yet another episode of Leadership Story Unscripted podcast, and we have the privilege to have with us today Talees Rizvi. Who started his career in IT consulting and then gradually moved on to create a powerful brand called Indian Conventions, which is into networking, into various segments and various areas like HR, tech, and also the other various genres. So we would like Talees to throw some more light on how did it all start and how the idea and transition. There's so many questions that I have of starting from consulting background and then moving on to business network.
Thanks, Manmeet, for having me on your show, and I think it's been doing wonderful. I've seen the other episodes that came up. So coming back to story that most of the people these days visualize that I am a guy who's doing events and stuff for running the show in my company. Yes, we do events, but there's a story behind it that why this happened. And as Manmeet rightly spoke that I am a IT person. I am not an event guy. So in the initial days, we are doing software consulting and allied consulting for HR and finance. We are doing small softwares, trying to help organizations to build up. And we started this thing in Lucknow. The backend was drawn there, and the company,
from Lucknow. Wow.
Yeah, from Lucknow. We did well in consulting space, and gradually it grew. And back in 2007, we thought that the growth is not coming because we are sitting in a city like Lucknow. So we moved to Delhi, and we are doing wonderful out there in Lucknow, and surprisingly wonderful in a small city. But we wanted to grow, and we came to Delhi. And I think I was around 26 at that point of time, and we were trying to reach the companies to sell our services, and it was very shocking to come to Delhi and realize that there's a big challenge of identity crisis out here in Delhi. Coming from a smaller town, I worked in Hyderabad and Lucknow. So there, everyone knows everyone, and referential network, and you can find references through your parents, your friends, or whatever. In small cities, these connects happen, and they're easily monetized. But coming to Delhi, I realized coming from outside was one challenge. In those cities, we are around 5 or 6 people who were in the similar business. Here I reached and I found somehow that there was a directory that was being printed of consulting companies, and there were around 3,500 companies operating in the same space. So how do you position yourself? And gradually, the other part, I probably am sharing this for the first time in public, that the expenses from Lucknow went up 10x.
Are you serious? 10x?
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's like real estate is expensive, manpower expensive. So we are burning a lot on that, and wherever we used to go, there's a lot of challenge in terms of conversions, and the market was too bargaining at that point of time. So the only thing that I thought was that why not develop something where people are getting connected and a networking platform can be built. And I told Manmeet the story that I was literally exhausted and running out of whatever resources we had. And once you're burning out, what you do is, at least what I did at that point of time was that I had to watch TV throughout the night.
Absolutely.
Because you
Netflix
won't find Netflix, and in those days it was Star Movies. So I was watching a movie, and it's called The Mask of Zorro.
Is it?
Completely worked up while watching that movie. I saw that when they were launching Antonio Banderas as a Don, so they threw a party.
Right.
I said, yeah, this is a good idea. We should throw a party, and that is how the first event of Indian Conventions, that we call IHRC, that's 20 years old now, was born. And we were the first few platforms in the country started off. Till 2019, we are doing amazing, but then COVID happened.
Yeah.
So the thing that we got in our consulting business, we got a lot of referential work,
Right.
and what we thought that we'll pass it on to everyone,
Right.
and keep on building the platform for various verticals. Yes, it is not that lucrative a business, but yes, if we are getting some traction for the consulting business that we have, then it's fine. And if anyone can monetize or maybe make a use of that network, we are happy to share it.
True.
So I think that's the story of how it started.
Wonderful.
What do you?
Oh, yes, thank you for sharing that. Very personal and and really an inspiration for so many people coming from a town which is and then experiencing expenses which are 10x than what you've had before must be really draining on you. And kudos to you.
When you are young, you don't realize that how the things are going to hit you.
Yes.
So that's probably that's a good thing and a bad thing at the same time. That if you are too calculative, then probably you don't step out. Like I don't take too many risks now as I used to take at that point of time. So that's a good as well as a bad thing.
Right. So if I may be allowed to share a quote from Jagdish Sahib's ghazal. गुल से लिपटी हुई तितली को हिला कर देखो, आंधियों तुमने दरख्तों को गिराया होगा. And I believe that is a perfect example of how you have shaped your company and how you have evolved, from where you started and where you are and where you have taken this to a level where others draw so much of inspiration. So where do you get so much of energy and passion?
See, it's all about getting the stuff done, and somehow I am a person with a lot of anxiety, so I push to get the stuff done. But yeah, it's at the end of the day, other than money, you want to create a legacy. You want to create something. The creation is something that motivates me.
Right.
At the end of the day, when you see or look at things that maybe if you've written a page in a day,
Right.
and if you read it and you feel inspired by it, I think that's more important than any other thing in the world. To create the satisfaction from creativity is what I
Interesting. So that is saying something. When it comes to going out, reaching out to people, convincing them about perhaps the product and service that you have, or let's have a niche event. How difficult it is to convince people that it would be fruitful in the long run for them? Because traditionally it is viewed as just an event, and there's much more to that. For instance, there are roundtable conferences, there are newsletters that you can go ahead and publish, customized to whatever are the golden nuggets from perhaps those events that have happened. How do you convince them?
See, it's monetization of any event generally works on your personal relationships. The sponsors need to believe in you, and the people who are there, they should know that you have some worth. Because see, we need to understand there's no threshold for anyone to enter an event business like it used to be a recruitment consulting business earlier.
Yeah.
So you would have anyone stepping in. You don't need much. Now, you need to get the resources in place, and they are readily available. The vendors are sharing the things with you at throwaway price. But there are two things that I always tell my sponsors as well, and what we practice is that there is a lot of personalization that has to go into anything that you are doing. Just doing managing the operations of the events, or doing good creatives, or maybe making the event look good. But if there is no soul to it, you will not fetch any benefit. So what we ensure and what our partners and all have experienced in the past, that there is a lot of personal touch. Plus, they come there for one reason.
Yeah.
They come there for business. They don't come there to stand on stage and speak.
True.
So you have to ensure that their connects are established with the right people who are, maybe the prospect buyers and stuff.
True.
That is our responsibility, that we are getting them connected with their ultimate buyers.
Wonderful.
So that's something that at the end of the day, if to get the event successful, you need to cater to the requirements of the people who are willing to spend on you. And until unless the team or no, as a matter of fact, I personally, whosoever is invested in my event, I ensure that they are aligned with the people who are there at my event. And that's a practice. I think got used to it because earlier we were trying to establish the brand, and then it became a habit.
Wow, wow. And as I say, a habit is something which starts off as a small little incident, and then when you just keep continuing, it goes with the flow, and then you don't know.
Probably that becomes the culture of the organization.
Right.
So you have to build on that. And one more thing I'd like to add here is that whenever there are people on board as sponsors, we at times call them partners or sponsors or whatever. Partners looks good.
Much better.
Much better. Sounds better.
Yeah.
So I always tell my sponsors when we are sitting before the event that okay, you are not here as a guest.
Yes.
You are as a host. So until unless you if you feel that the organizer is a host for you,
correct.
so you'll be looking at hospitality for yourself, not for your client. So engage with the people who are there as a host to them. Don't wait for maybe the organizers to lay everything in a platter, sail in a platter for you. So maybe might sound too rude, but yeah, that is the reality. Engagement is the key. We are doing the experiential business. We are doing the event business just for the engagement. Otherwise, we can meet anyone over a phone or SMS.
Absolutely, absolutely. And there's a certain purpose that you have.
Yeah.
Very true. So Talees, tell me something. When you have to reach out to someone and convince them that the deadline is at a particular hour, and you know that they are the ones who can get it done, it's a tough job. But how do you convince them?
And you're talking about...
I'm talking about, let's say, you have a speakership for a particular event, or perhaps they want to become, you feel that they can be the right sponsor for that particular niche event.
See, it's very customized kind of a thing that you have to look at. You can't have anyone as a speaker on your platform.
Absolutely.
You can't, until unless you value your product, nobody else is going to value that.
True.
So you have to learn to say no.
Yeah.
Like we have been...
which is difficult to do. But how do you do that?
See, speakers have to be aligned with your
Vision
and what the organization is going to talk about, what the event is going to be about. If they are not aligned, at times we have to, look at, other options, and also that's a very minuscule thing in events we as a brand, we are giving value to the speakers, so we respect their values as well.
Okay.
And we wish that, because they are the people because of whom the entire crowd is coming as followers.
Yeah.
Because of them, the sponsor, we respect all this stuff, and we try to tell them and the kind of value as a individual or as a personal branding that they're getting is what we focus on. Coming to the sponsors part.
Yeah.
So again, sponsor chooses you, you don't choose the sponsor.
Yes.
It's
Now
not,
that is so profound in itself.
you need to know that.
Yeah.
We are very, the sales teams and all, we bug a lot of people, keep on reaching out to them and cold callings, and that's good. We have to do that to
That's
let
part
them.
of the job.
That's a part of job, and we need to let them know that we are there and we are doing stuff. But they will choose you. You can't choose them. So that's what I have learned. I have had experiences where people would come, out of nowhere, and they would say, okay, we want to be a part and be associated. And people whom we have been struggling for maybe a couple of months, they all of a sudden would come because we are interested in a particular segment of your, we don't want everything. So maybe in today's world, it is more customization that people look at. The budgets are low, and one challenge that has come up of late is that people come to you with a objective that you sell it for them.
Yes.
So
That's true.
That's that's one of the
That's a
biggest
perennial challenge.
Yeah, but somehow it's very difficult. Probably they don't understand. Sales has to do sales job. We are more of a branding and positioning people. We can facilitate. We can actually sell. If we sell your product, then who's going to sell us?
Very true.
That's one thing, and I think that sums it all. It's going to be very rough. Probably I'll not get more sponsors now.
No, absolutely not. I hope that you get more sponsors, and hope that the events are going to be more and more successful as we go along. Talees, tell me something. You've never thought of creating a niche in a segment which will give you more money. You've thought of quality, or rather, let me put it this way: you've emphasized more on giving more value to people rather than making money, because that's an easier way to do. You have competitors out there. I won't name them for the benefit of not having to bad name them or whatever. But yeah, everyone is going after money. But here you are giving more value to other people. For instance, a platinum sponsor would get X plus 10 more things rather than another competitor of yours who will give just X.
See, the point is, in the event space, mostly there are two things: branding and your personal networking that is happening. So, value is for networking.
Yes.
And the bigger the reach, the more the cost is. So, let's not put it in a way that, X brand is charging more than what we are.
Yeah.
So probably we are in a more closed. We are working in a smaller segment where we actually know people. It is not a ATL kind of a thing that we are doing. It is very personalized, and we're trying to network with our people. If we are able to get you one or two qualified leads which are getting converted, I think that is ROI for any of the sponsors who are coming and working with us. Probably, and thanks to the digital age, people are working on SaaS models.
Yep, true.
So today,
software as a service.
So when you're working on a SaaS model, the ticket sizes have gone down.
Yeah.
So you should be able to give the real value to those people. That's what I believe, and that's not the major business for us. That's another. That's a secondary thing for us. So, but we are building our own connects. We are building connects for you, and we have been serving for quite some time, and gradually we have grown, and we wish to remain more personalized. We don't want to grow leaps and bounds and have 1,000 sponsors coming with us and not delivering to one.
Brilliant. That's so very well put, Talees. I think it's so important for those who are starting out. I'm not talking about the competitors. You better do what you're doing. But I'm talking about people who are really starting up. What they need to learn being in this business. It's not that easy. Provide more value and quality rather than focusing on money. Great. So, Talees, what's been your innermost desire insofar as where do you see this company move maybe about 5 years from now?
The objective is now when we talk about we started in 2004, we want to do a LinkedIn, but unfortunately back in those days we didn't have people who would come forward and support and fund. So we started with whatever little stuff we had in physical space, and we did quite well. Now coming back, we wish to have a little extended presence, and we are opening our chapters in 29 states as of now. The work is on, and we'll be having whatever we are doing, the smaller versions to happen in various capital cities is the whole idea. There are a lot of people who are doing stuff, but there is no centralized kind of mechanism where you are able to connect with the right kind of people. So let's take an example for HR. So there are colleges everywhere. There are people who are looking for jobs everywhere. There are people who are SMEs and MSMEs are in smaller towns as well.
Yeah.
So we wish to give a reach to our sponsors who are looking at MSMEs as their clients. So that's one place that we wish to focus. We want to cut down this, the pomp and show 5-star culture in the conferences. It doesn't add value. There's a barrier that you create in terms of people attending it. So it has to be a more democratized and a purposeful thing. So as I told earlier that my expenses went from X to 10X, we wish to cut it down for our sponsors that they get at least 5X of the value what they are getting. So let's hope we are able to do it in the next 5 years. So that's about it.
Wonderful.
And, thank you, Manmeet, for this. And I'd like to share that me and Manmeet, we have been together for donkey's ages now.
Yes, absolutely. I still remember the first interaction that we had. I had come to that event and we did not even become the sponsor, but we became somehow, you were gracious enough to allow us to sort of have a space over there.
I think that was in 2010,
9-10 sometime. And, the standee that I had was not even functioning properly. So you went ahead and got a tape, put it yourself, and I was standing there admiring this person who's the, store shopper and also the owner of the show, doing all that by himself. I was completely awed. I said, I would have to learn so much from you.
No, Manmeet, the thing is, it's your show. When you do your show, you can't say, okay, I'll not wear a socks and come without, put on a shoe and come to the show, or I'll not put on a shoe and come to the show.
Right.
So everything that is happening, it should be good. And you should be, you can't say that, okay, this thing is not looking good because of this particular reason. There are no excuses.
There's another thing that I want to share, sorry to cut you short, that in one of the organizations that I'd gone to, in the washroom, it was written directors only.
So that's I won't comment on that.
Yeah, let's not comment on that. Let's not go on that road. But it talks about the culture of that place. But at the same time, it talks about you as well, being magnanimous. And that's how people should be, helping each other out.
That's the way it is, One more thing I'll add, for now that startup is a big buzz. When we started, it was not called startup. It was like, ye kuch karne ki koshish kar raha hai. So, the thing is, most of the people, they look out for funds and, they need a lot of stuff, a lot of resources to start. The challenge that I had when I came here, yes, it was funding, yes, it was everything. So, gradually what we learned that you need to be very adaptable and you should be able to, you should have all the stuff whichever is there.
Right.
Say in those days, we having a website was a challenge, and they were charging 2.5 lakh rupees for starting websites, and I didn't have that kind of disposable income. Do I pay the hotel or do I pay these guys for the website? And so what my team and we learned everything.
Yeah.
Whatever once you're starting up, you should be able to adapt, learn, and you should have execution skills at your hand. It shouldn't be that, okay, if that guy is not there, I'll not be able to do it.
Yeah.
So things have to happen. This is the most important thing that any startup person should know from now.
Yeah,
so
I was about to say no dependability on people, but more of process-oriented stuff.
Absolutely.
And people should be flexible to do it.
See,
if there is a housekeeping guy not there, why not carry your own cup of coffee?
Do it. Why not sweep the floor? Yeah,
absolutely.
That's when you're starting off. You don't have that luxury, man.
Very true.
You don't have.
Very true.
So you have.
In fact, most of the organizations don't even have an HR, and that's a touchy topic for a discussion.
We'll have a detail.
We'll have a detail.
No, most of the organizations don't have HRs.
Great. Okay, so now moving on to a very exciting segment of this episode, and I highlight this episode as the rapid fire round.
Oh, that will be tough, yeah.
No, it's going to be very easy.
I'm pretty slow.
You just have to think of the first word that you think of the word that I mentioned. For example, if I say story, so you can say, maybe love story or something else. Or if I say podcast, you can say leadership story unscripted podcast. I'm just giving examples.
So are you going to say that?
For another episode. When you do the podcast. Okay, so now you are on the hot seat, and are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. What do you say about networking? The first thing that comes to your mind.
Personalization, I would say.
Personalization. Very good. How about people?
Again, you're putting me in the fix. People, you need to understand them and fulfill their needs and network with them.
Very good. Excellent. Favorite holiday destination?
Yeah, I am from Amroha.
Okay.
And that's the place, I would give away anything to do and, go to my home and sleep on the veranda.
Wow.
You don't have those luxuries and,
Yes.
walk around in the angan of a large house.
Absolutely.
That's
Not in a
something
city. Not at all.
you don't get it in the city.
Unless you're a billionaire.
Even
Billionaires won't. Yeah, the
even
fresh
the
air.
billionaires can't get the
quality of
fresh
air.
air
Exactly.
and the quality of life that they have.
Life, yeah.
Most of the people who are living there of my age are still young.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
that's
Okay. Favorite actor?
that's a tough one, Salman Khan.
Salman Khan? Okay. Favorite musician?
None here.
None? Okay.
Do you want me to say Honey Singh? I would say that.
No ways. Not him. All right. And the last question that I have for you is, what would you say to a 30-year younger Talees Rizvi?
Yeah, it will be very tough telling him anything.
So let's say
he's a crazy guy.
with Talees Rizvi, who's 30 years younger to you.
No, the guy who's 30 years younger than me,
Yeah.
who's 30 at this point of time,
Yep.
he's a crazy guy. Yeah? He won't listen to anyone. So I
be
better
tough.
stay away. It will be tough explaining him anything.
All right.
So
We'll give
that's-
that to you. Wonderful. So
Thank you.
great. Thank you
Thank you.
so much, Talees.
So hope
You've given some wonderful insights, and I'm sure people who want to start up, even the competitors, better not do what he said. Okay, but those who want to start up, I'm sure they have so much in terms of insights and inroads. And for people who are potential sponsors, can always reach out to Talees and his team. And of course, insofar as people who are trying and aspiring to become good hosts, you need to learn from the human being Talees rather than the professional.
That's
So
too
you're
much for
a lovely
people.
human being.
Yeah, I'm bluffing right.
And really appreciate a wonderful show, and hopefully to see you in season 2.0 as well, which will happen next year. Thank you so much, Talees.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.